going on there, guys? We back with another one, and we got to talk more about the Grizzlies. And Ja Morant, man, he took accountability for his actions this year. And I'm going to post the quote up, and it says, you know, he has to take more responsibility pretty much, and he needs to lead by example, saying the leadership starts with him. And that's good to see, you know, accepting responsibility for how the season turned out. Not saying that they could have won a championship, but things could have went smoother and everybody could have been on one accord a lot better had Ja not been through some of the things he went through on and off the floor this year. Most namely, the incidents that we talked about with the 16-year-old pulling up to his sister's high school gym, the Pacers and the lasers, the gun. Obviously, it's one of those things, you know, you wish he wouldn't have done. And you got LeBron responding to Dillon Brooks, and he had two quotes. And LeBron posted on IG, he says, "If you ever see me fighting in the forest with a grizzly bear, help the bear." And that's a pretty old quote, you know, that used basically saying, you know, you going so hard that you can overcome the impossible. It's a lot of ways you can interpret that, but that's, you know, that's one that they use a lot. Insurmountable odds against you, and you rise to the occasion, okay? And he also used the Jay-Z quote, which I'm going to post, and he's pretty much telling Dillon Brooks to stay in his place. Y'all can read that from his song Trouble, and, you know, he used that for Dillon Brooks. Now, both Dillon and Ja had to walk back to the team bus to get back to the airport, and man, where they trolled on the way out. They even got T. Morant. The Lakers fans wasn't playing, man. Check this out.
What's your favorite song to listen to in the strip club? What's your favorite song? What's your favorite song to listen to?
You should know what his favorite song.
What song gets you hype right now?
What song gets me hype right now?
Yep.
Young Players. Young Players.
Rich Homie Quan?
Young Players.
Rich Homie Quan, you said? Hell yeah. All right, John.
Goodbye.
Shut it down, John.
I ain't telling him you'll see him next year.
You ain't driving no more. I see you walking by.
Wow, man. So you have everybody waiting for these guys to come out, and this is by their own doing. This is what speaking does. You allow engagement. Well, not even allow. You welcome engagement with the fans when you write a check that's too big for you to cash. And Ja's got a lot of money coming in, but you know, that check was probably a little too big even for him. And he may lose, what, $39 million this year based on not making the first, second, or third All-NBA team. And, man, there's so many lessons to be learned here this year. And I'm hearing that the Memphis Grizzlies are strongly considering not extending Dillon Brooks. Now, they said that they want to bring him back earlier this year, but as the season went on, his antics started to outweigh his production, and that's not a good thing. You know, and you have to think, when you start doing all these antics and everything like Dillon Brooks is doing, the team has all the leverage. I could pay you less and less and less and less because nobody else don't want you now. Because your production isn't that high and you've made enemies with stars all around the league. And they're telling their front office, you know, if they even considering, Dillon Brooks needs to learn the business. And by that, I mean, these stars determine whether a player like Dillon Brooks comes along. Now, if they drafting Victor Wembanyama, they're not running that by nobody. We just going to draft Victor Wembanyama. But someone like coming in as a free agent like Dillon Brooks, nobody ain't trying to bring you in. You're not a great shooter. You're not, I don't know, man. I don't know. I guess I would have liked to see him play it more like Patrick Beverly, even though Beverly was pushing Chris Paul down, which was Bush League, and he's done some other things, like got under Russell Westbrook's foot and all that. He did maintain enough relationships throughout the league, even when he blocked LeBron and he was doing his own court antics. Players don't really mind that so much. If you're just locked in and you're playing and you're talking a little trash, that's fine. What Dillon Brooks attempted to do, though, is like, I don't know, man. It's just a different vibe around the Grizzlies. I could get deeper and deeper into it, but the thing they've created for themselves, his dirty plays, you know, hurting players. I think the one on GP3, when you start doing stuff like that, you hit LeBron in the nuts, you get enough of those optics, it becomes an issue where stars around the league, like, wait, he's breaking the brotherhood code of the NBA. So do I really want to play with this guy? Or is there another guy that gives me everything he gives me and some, or maybe even a little less than him, but he's able to fit within the team and he's not as much of a distraction? There's nothing wrong with creating your image as a bad boy, but what Dillon Brooks would have had to be is at least a knockdown shooter. If he was shooting 40% from three, taking 4 or 5 a game, he was playing lockdown defense, you can account, he can account for like 15 points, shooting 45% or better from the floor. He would have no trouble finding a job. But he shoots in the 20s sometimes, and you know, he could go over and he'll keep shooting. He's about ostracized himself from his home fan base in Memphis. You heard them groan in one of those games versus the Lakers. He kept shooting. You could hear the crowd go, oh, when he pulled up. And that's what it's become. So he's almost not welcome back at Memphis. So I saw people, they posted a meme about China, but honestly, guys, I'm going to keep it real with you. Those top leagues in China, Mike Beasley played there. Stephon Marbury played there. Who was the other guy recently? Did Boogie go over there? Or did Dwight? One of them went over there. I say that to say it's not as easy to play in China. It's a funny meme, but if you talk about playing for like the Shanghai Sharks or those top teams, Dillon Brooks may get a job there, but it's going to be hard to stay there. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not the meme. You might want to put the league that Pacquiao plays in. That's something that's a lot lower than the NBA, but some of those guys that play in those China leagues are still good enough to play in the NBA. So the joke, to me, just as a basketball person, it don't hit the same, because I know you talking about top Euro League or that top league in China, all that is top notch. You know, you remember even in Spain, like Rudy Fernandez left Portland, left the Blazers to go back and play over there in his homeland because he was making comparable money and the competition was high. He liked the style of basketball. So going over across the water isn't always a bad thing, but Dillon Brooks is not the player he thinks he is. It was good to see Ja have some accountability there, and it was interesting to see LeBron trolling after the job is done. But LeBron, I mean, he said stuff to Dillon Brooks during the series, so he's not what I would consider a front runner. But hey, man, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Until next time, peace.